most of you have heard about Buddhism, so what am I going to talk now? Buddhism is an English word because this teaching was taught by Buddha, so his teaching is called Buddhism. But in Tibetan it is called Chö, Sangye Chö, Dharma of the Lord Buddha, teaching of the Lord Buddha. So the Buddha Dharma is not for procuring or obtaining the worldly benefits, but mainly it is to change our mind and attain the Buddhahood or the enlightenment. Which is then free from all the sufferings, all the difficulties, and everything comes, every wishes comes on its way. So my teacher usually used to say that if you want to become a rich person, then you don't need to practice Dharma. Go into the business. So it's like that. One solely, the main purpose is for this life, then there's not much benefit out of the Buddha Dharma, Buddhist practice. Of course there are benefits, but not as much as one wishes. The Buddha's teaching is mainly to liberate us from this world. We do not realize the difficulties and sufferings, problems of this world. But Buddha said, wherever you go, wherever you were born, there is no place you will find complete peace and happiness. Peace and happiness finds only when your mind is changed, tamed. People desire more and more. But the more you get, the more you become greedy, more wanting. And usually we say, it's a beautiful place. When we see the beautiful beach, beautiful environment, beautiful car, beautiful house, we desire. But when actually it comes to us, we are not fulfilled. We want more and more. So there's no end for our fulfillment. So if we remain like this, then we will be passing away our life with this wanting more, not getting. So these are all sufferings. Suffering does not mean that very painful thing. Suffering can be big, suffering can be small. There is suffering in the family, there is suffering in the relationship, there is suffering in study, there is suffering in the business, there is suffering even in driving the car. But we don't realize that much. We only realize or see the surface. Buddha said that we should not remain like this as we are now in this world without being liberated ourselves from these sufferings and difficulties. Sufferings and difficulties are not there, but these are our mind that wanting and not wanting is our mind. Mind feels that way. But actually, the wanting, not wanting does not exist. You want something, when you got that, the wanting is not there. You don't want something, and that happens. Your not wanting is not there. Everything is dependent. Everything is conditional. So this conditional existence, conditional environment that we are roaming around, we have to change it. But we can't change physically or environmentally, is it? Can't change it. We have to change our mind. We can't walk everywhere with bare feet, but we cannot cover everywhere with leather or carpet or anything. But we just cover our own feet, and it is same as we covered everywhere. So similarly, that we correct our mind, then it is same as we corrected everything. So therefore, if you want to have a good human life, comfortable life, then just practice the 10 virtues. Try to abstain or refrain from the non-virtuous deeds. That is enough. That is the Buddhism, but not the deep and the actual Buddhist practice. I think everybody, if one wants to be a good human being, one should go with the 10 virtuous deeds, whether you are Buddhist or not Buddhist, Christian or Hindus, whoever, you must abide by this law of karma, law of karma, or 10 virtuous deeds. Then you don't need to practice this compassion, loving kindness, or emptiness, because this is not what you want. You want a happy, comfortable life in this world. So even to have a comfortable life, you have to practice the virtuous deeds. Without virtuous deed, you can't have a comfortable life, because everything is interdependent. Good comes from the good, bad comes from the bad. So if you do the good action, you have a good result. If you do the bad action, you will have a bad result. So that is the suffering. is the function of the law of karma. So I will explain this law of karma at the end. First I will go to... So the main motivation to become a Buddhist is to liberate oneself from this world, suffering of this world. You can't liberate from this world. You can't separate yourself from this world. And also maybe not necessarily. There are, I think, a lot of works to benefit this world. So what you have to liberate is, you have to liberate your mind, which is suffering. Mind is suffering actually. Your body is not suffering. Mind is suffering. If your mind is okay, like your children slap you, you are not, it's not suffering. You don't feel angry. You don't feel unhappy. If somebody comes and slaps you, you definitely feel angry. So this is mind. Loving mind and unloving mind. So that makes your, this feeling, two different feelings. So it is very important actually to liberate your mind. Once you liberate your mind, you can be much better than a successful businessman. You can be much better than the successful leaders. Because you gain the mental strength. That mental strength works everything successfully. Our mind is very powerful. Like when we talk detail in the karma, every phenomena are because of our mind. Outer phenomena are because of our mind. But then we have no pure mind, so we see all, what do you call it? We see the things that cause us sufferings. But when your mind is clean and become positive, then every environment is turned into positive, good. It may not be. One may not believe in this theory or talk, teaching, because that may be the first time for you to hear. But it is fact. Lord Buddha was an ordinary sentient being, like ourselves. He was even born in a hell realm. And then he came out as a human being. After, finishing his, what you call, he was a tenure in hell realm, is it? Tenure? Or his time?
Sentence.
Huh? So, he practiced. And he saw the way to liberate the mind and then achieve enlightenment. After having received enlightenment, then he could benefit many sentient beings. He could give himself in peace. He could go. He could, he could manifest in many forms or miracles. There was a place called Sharvaska. It's near Nepal border. It's one of the holy Buddha's holy land. He competed the manifestation with the Hindu masters for 6 days, and he was never defeated. That was after he became an enlightened being, not before that. He could read, he could explain the causes and condition of every sentient being and everything. With such a wisdom. So, changing mind is changing mind, our ignorant mind, into the wisdom mind. So then it is the wisdom. Enlightenment is the wisdom. That the real Buddha is the wisdom, not the physical body. Buddha in Tibetan term, Buddha actually, the meaning Buddha is, word Buddha is Sanskrit word. So Buddha means two meanings. Buddha has two meanings. Sanskrit words sometimes have many meanings. So this has two meanings. One is awakening. Awakening from the ignorance. And another one is developed. So Buddha's mind is awakened and developed. Developed what? He purified all the negativities. And now all good qualities are there with his enlightenment or his wisdom mind. So therefore, the real motivation to become a Buddhist means first you must see that this world is not beautiful. It is beautiful by word, but it is not beautiful in a reality. Because nothing is reliable. We say that you see, nothing is reliable because it comes and goes. Comes and goes. Relationship comes and relationship goes. Happy moment comes and goes. So there is no reliable. After coming a happy moment, there is suffering. After breaking the relation, suffering. So now what we have to think is, now we must think that there is no real peace and happiness in this world. So we must liberate oneself from this world. From this world means not geographically, is it? But from the sufferings. So with that motivation, then you become a Buddhist. You should not think that becoming Buddhist gives everything. No, that also depends on your karma, past karma. So then, the very first thing that you have to do is to take a refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. If you want to go to London, a stranger man who wanted to go to London, who doesn't know about the London and the ways to the London, then he needs somebody who could say, this way, go to London. So that is the Buddha Shakyamuni. We need the Buddha who taught this teaching, who showed us path to the liberation. Then we need the actual freeway that goes to London. That is the Dharma. And we need someone, which means, of course, if you go take a coach, the driver is there, and like that. So we need the Sangha. Sangha is our companion. So we have to take refuge in these three things. Without taking refuge in these three things, we will not reach the London. So similarly, without taking refuge in these three things, then we will not achieve enlightenment. So that is the reason for taking refuge. Now, the how we want to take refuge in the Buddha is, there are many enlightened Buddhas, because this world is not there in this 21st century or 20th century or in this era. World is there a long time. Sentient beings are there long time. you can't trace the beginning of the sentient beings or the beginning of this world. So many sentient beings achieved enlightenment, changed, correct their mind, become enlightened. So there are many Buddhas. But in this era, during this existence of the world, we say during this existence of the world, which actually means this world also finish one day. So there is period of the existence of this world. And there was also called time. So during this existence of the world, there is a time. It's called dark time and light time. Dark time, light time is the Buddhas get enlightenment on this earth. So this earth, there will be 1,000 Buddhas who will get enlightenment during this world existence of the world. So the 3 Buddhas already finished. Now the Shakyamuni Buddha who got enlightenment in India is the 4th. So the Buddha Shakyamuni is the main Buddha that we have to take refuge in. That to take refuge under, is it under or in? So how to take refuge in the Buddha Shakyamuni is we must accept him as a teacher. The Dharma you are practicing is his teaching. So he is our teacher. We must practice him, we must accept him as our teacher, who is the right person, who has shown the right path. That is taking refuge in Buddha. And taking refuge in the Dharma is then you, not only that, you trust the Buddha that he is fully enlightened. And through trust, through faith, through respect, one can accumulate lots of merits. So you should accept Buddha as that kind of person. Then Dharma, taking refuge in the Dharma is now you must study his teaching. One must try to practice, implement his teachings as much as one can. That is the taking refuge in the Dharma. Taking refuge in the Sangha is Sangha is a bit complicated subject. There are Theravada tradition, Hinayana traditions, Theravada traditions. There are 8 Charvaka Buddhas, but this complicated I will explain you. We are Mahayana. So Mahayana tradition, that is enlightened beings, at least who are free from this world, samsara, who has achieved liberation. But the liberation has the different levels. First liberation, second liberation, third liberation. Buddha's stage is the 11th liberation. So in between, from the first liberation to the 10th liberation, all beings, those enlightened beings, are considered as a Sangha. So we have to take refuge in them in order to get blessings, to enhance our practice, to get protections from the obstacles. So this way, taking refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Then, having taken refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, one is now a Buddhist and considered a Upasaka. But there, Upasaka, you can be five upasakas actually. The upasaka here means having taken refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, now you have to give the five precepts, usually five precepts. Killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, and telling lie, and alcohol. But you don't have to give all precepts at one time. Frankly speaking, today many Buddhists think that Buddhist means you have to keep all these precepts. And then that discourages the people. But Buddha's teaching actually didn't say that you have to, once you become Buddhist, you have to keep all these five precepts. What you have to do is now, you have to try your best to give as many precepts as possible. Because from the beginning you can't be perfect. We are all sentient beings. We are trying to be the best and perfect person, but not yet we are. So we have to put effort, depending on your ability. So maybe first take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha and keep the precept of not killing. That is called the first type of upasaka. You say, okay, after today onwards, I will not do any killing action. Even the small insects, not the human being only. Then, when you are quite used to this idea and practice, go to another one. I will say, okay, I will not now steal anything. But if you are not stealing, good person, from the beginning you have these precepts, okay? But if you are you are doing the stealings, then now you think, okay, now I will not do the stealings. And then you are second level upasaka. Then you go sexual misconduct. Okay, now from now onwards, I will not do sexual misconduct, okay? Means adultery. Then you keep that. Once you made precept, try to keep it, not to break it. And then telling lie, the fourth. Then drinking alcohol. So these four ones, you can, there's no order that you must go first this and second this. Any four of first. So once you give precept of all five, then that is called upasaka, super upasaka, I think. Super upasaka. The complete upasaka. And then the complete, Buddhist. Complete Buddhist. So that's a different, huh? First, take refuge in the Triple Gem, you become Buddhist, and you take one of the precepts, then you are Buddhist, but not complete, okay, but you are Buddhist. And then you add more and more, then you are complete Buddhist. But if you can give all of them from the beginning, that is very good. There is not necessary that you have to go one by one. Maybe two, maybe three in the beginning. Understand? Okay. Then after taking refuge, refuge is known as a foundation for all other practices. There is a Mahayana practice, there is a Vajrayana practice, there is a Mahayana vows, there is a Vajrayana vows. All these, the foundation is the refuge. If one do not have the refuge vow or refuge, then you cannot have all others. So then, refuge, you have to take refuge vow if you want to become a Buddhist. So refuge vow means there is a ceremony to do in which then you accept Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. So that time your precepts are the three precepts, that having taken refuge in the Buddha, that you will not look for anyone as your teacher or as someone who is the right person to show you a right path. Then taking refuge in the Dharma, you should not do any harm to the sentient beings. And any taking refuge in the Sangha, then you should not deal any other religious, spiritual, who are non-Buddhists as your Dharma friend. They can be your friend, but not a Dharma friend. So, after that, now you jump to the actual practice, which is called. So, actually in Tibetan Buddhism, there are three vehicles. Hinayana vehicle, Mahayana vehicle, and Vajrayana vehicles. So taking refuge is considered as a Hinayana vehicle because Hinayana also needs the refuge. Without refuge, you can't be any Buddhist. So Hinayana or for any other Buddhist tradition, the refuge is the foundation. So you take refuge. This is Hinayana, or usually called. This vow is called Bhakti-moksha vow. Bhakti-moksha vow, Bodhisattva vow, Vajrayana vow. So then that, now you have to practice the Mahayana. Mahayana means the loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta. These three practices is known as the Mahayana. Okay, these three practices are known as the Mahayana. So loving kindness is not a complicated one. It is very simple. Just a very simple wish. May all sentient beings be the happiness and the cause of the happiness. This idea is the loving kindness. Now what you have to do is, you have to keep remembering this idea. When we say the meditation on loving kindness, is sitting properly with the proper postures, and then just concentrating on this idea and thinking this idea again and again. May all sentient beings be with the happiness and the cause of the happiness. So for that, you have to accept that all the sentient beings are your mother sentient beings. Without treating all the sentient beings as a mother sentient being, you cannot generate the loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta. And thinking that all the sentient beings are mother sentient being is not a trick, it is the fact. No matter how our mothers are now at the present, but it is very much sure and definite, true that mother has cared a lot from the beginning, as even before we conceive, and since the conception, sorry, she has taken a lot of care. She bore a lot of difficulties for the sake of ourselves. So her love, care, difficulties that she endured is not comparable with any other circumstances, with any other things. No matter how bad she is at the moment, but she has given us love, care, everything. For example, if somebody lends you money, and then that person asks you, return the money, and you won't return, and punch you. Would you say that person is bad? But that person has already gave you the money. No matter at that moment he punched, as yeah, of course punch is not good, but he did something for us, for oneself. Huh? So like that, one should never forget the mother's kindness. Actually, you can also think about the father's kindness. But in meditation we use the mother, because mother has given more love, more care, more dared, endured more difficulties for us. So usually the parents is very important. In Buddhism, respect to the parent is a virtue. And respect to the parent shows the good personality of the person. In our society, if you are against the parents, we consider all that bad children. Bad children. Because you don't repay the kindness. You never think of their kindness, their love. So now, our mothers are so kind. We have to do something for the mother. So all the sentient beings are our mothers. Not only present mother is only our mother. They are mother at this in this life. But all the sentient beings have been mother in one way or another, in one place or another place. So we have to treat every sentient being as a mother sentient being. We should not think that who does you good is a good, who does you good is a bad. But that person has already done good things for us in the past lifetimes, many lifetimes. So now we have to think how to repay that kindness. And to repay this kindness, then one must look to yourself. Okay, first, you think, what should I do now to my mother? And then you think carefully and you will know that a mother is. What mother wants is the happiness. What mother does not want is the suffering. Right? So you must now should give the mother liberation. You should liberate mother from that suffering. Place her in a peaceful state. But then, when we look at ourselves, we are not in this position. We are also same as a mother suffering. We have no ability to save mother because we cannot save ourselves. So therefore now we should think that, okay, the only way that I could benefit, I could help, I could repay the kindness of the mother is to be a Buddha first oneself to be a Buddha. And then benefit the sentient beings. So that will come later, okay, I said earlier on. That will come when I explain the bodhicitta, okay? So you must think that may all the sentient beings, first, when you meditate, if you want to meditate, first you only focus on your present mother. Whether the mother is alive or not alive. You imagine that mother is there, whether alive or not alive. Exactly, you must clearly think that how she looked like. And then you remember that she has given me so much time, so much love, so much care. Not only this lifetime, she might have been your mother many lifetimes in the past. So now, what she needs is happiness, what she doesn't need is the suffering. So then, you focus, thinking that mother is in front of you, and then may this mother be happiness and the cause of the happiness. So in this way, what it happens is, it will suppress your negative emotions. To correct our mind, to free our mind means we have to free our mind from negative thoughts. Anger, hatred, jealousy, all these thoughts we have to free. So it will suppress you. Your anger, especially anger to the mom. And then you gradually add more and more sentient beings, your father, brothers, sisters, and then finally even the enemies. If you have one, you add and look at this. Mother, all sentient beings, enemies, may they all be free from the suffering. May they all be with happiness and cause of happiness. And that is the loving kindness. It's a very simple. But we need to give time to get used to it, to get used to this idea. And then compassion is also same way. May all the sentient beings, or may this mother be free from the sufferings as the cause of the sufferings. If she has any particular sufferings that you can see, you can focus on that. May she be free from this suffering, illness, difficult, stress, depression, whatever. And then free from the sufferings and cause of the sufferings. So now, be with the happiness and the cause of the happiness. Cause are the virtuous deeds. And free from the suffering and the cause of the suffering, and cause of the sufferings are the non-virtuous deeds. Then go this, then you take the Bodhisattva vow. Bodhisattva vow means there are 3 bodhicittas. Is that also mine? Oh, sorry. Modern world, modern Lama. So then, 2 bodhicittas. Yes, seen us. This is the Bible. So, 2 bodhicittas. Bodhicitta is kind of thought. In English, it is said altruistic thought. Caring others more than oneself. Don't be unhappy when you say, caring more, not me. But you will get benefit. You will get benefit. So, caring more others than oneself, that thought has 2. So, thinking that, wishing to achieve the enlightenment. But enlightenment here means not the first or second level, it's complete enlightenment, Buddhahood, for the benefit of sentient beings. That thought is the wishing bodhicitta. It is just wishing. And after that, not wishing is good enough. One must actually go into it. Means go into get it. So go into practice. So then you think that again, I must achieve the enlightenment for the benefit of certain beings, and for that purpose I must practice the Dhamma as much as I can. That is the entering bodhicitta. Means it is wish that you actually want to enter into the path, not just wishing. Sorry. So, entering bodhicitta, and this bodhicitta, you need to take also the bodhisattva vow. Then everything is your wishing become effective, becomes path. Otherwise, just wishing like that, not taking the vow. Vow means, again, there is a kind of ceremonies. It doesn't become a real bodhicittas. So bodhicitta means now compassion, love, kindness, bodhicitta are the path of the Mahayanas. So that will take you a long time to achieve enlightenment. Many, many lifetimes. So it is very much discouraging. But then there is a Vajrayana, which is known as a cookies path. So that Vajrayana practice, based again upon this refuge and the Mahayana, the compassion, loving kindness, and bodhicitta, and then practice the Vajrayana, then there is a possibility within a single lifetime to achieve enlightenment, complete enlightenment. If not, life year after. If not, like this, it will not take more than 16 lifetimes. It's quite long, huh? Maybe we should be short lifetime. 16 lifetimes. Because the Mahayana practice, you can achieve the first level, even this first level of enlightenment, already in this lifetime, if you put effort. So actually, if you achieve the first level, that is very much good enough, because then there is no worry. You will go up, and you will not go down. Otherwise, if you have not achieved the first level, no matter how much practice you do, they may be declined. So you will still be roaming in the samsara. But once you got in that first level, then you have quite big freedom. You can come here in the world if you wish, or if you see anything that you could do for the benefit of sentient being, you can come. If you don't see anything that you could do, you can go other Buddha level, or you can be born any other. I like that there are many, many qualities, good qualities. I don't think I need to elaborate too much because it will complicate you. So when we have more and more time, then we go more and more. So anyway, so the Vajrayana path is why it is quicker is that practice goes direct, deals direct with your energy, with your inner energy. And through the initiation, but that you have to get the initiation. Without initiation or empowerment, you are not supposed to practice the Vajrayana. So therefore, I would suggest you, don't go and get the book from the bookshop and read the Vajrayana books. It is not right. Before initiation, you are not supposed to read the Vajrayana books. You are not supposed to practice the Vajrayana practices. But today, bookshops, they have many high secret Vajrayana teachings, and people go buy, and it makes you inappropriate further later to go into the Vajrayana practice, if I strictly speak. So the best is you go to cultivate a good teacher, and then get the empowerment, then you start. Then once you got one empowerment, like Vajrayana, actually there are 4 classes of tantras. You get the highest Vajrayana class of tantra, initiation, then you can read all the books. But practice-wise, each practice you need the empowerment. Okay? So it is very harmful if you really, without going proper way of doing the Vajrayanas. So therefore sometimes I say that Buddhism is in the market. Buddhism is not as a as a benefiting the sentient beings. Buddhism is there to make the money, which is sad. But many people again think that, why? We make it secret. Oh, it's not generous. But our making it secret, making it tight is out of our compassion. Not because of not being generous. We don't want to harm the many people. We don't want to destroy the opportunity of the people to become a Vajrayana practitioner. But the people don't understand this. And the more you secret, the less followers you have. The more you make open, the more followers you have. But what sort of follower you will have then? You will have unqualified followers. You destroy the opportunities of all these followers to become a proper Vajrayana practitioner. Okay? I'm saying too much. So, this is the brief thing. Now I go to explain a little bit about the law of karma. Law of karma is, after you achieved first level of enlightenment, I don't think you have to abide by the law of karma. So this is before achieving this first level of enlightenment. So we ordinary sentient beings. Sentient beings in Tibetan called Semjen, means beings who have not achieved that first level onwards, enlightenment onwards, are called Semjen or sentient beings. Because what we have is negative emotions, anger, hatred, jealousy, desire, and ignorance, so on. Once you achieve this first level body, you have no these five things, and all are the negative actions. So whatever actions you do are positive actions. Whatever action that person do is out of compassion, out of bodhicitta, out of loving kindness. So therefore, there is no such system of karma for those above those sentient beings. So this karma is for us who have not yet achieved that level. So law of karma is 10 non-virtuous deeds. I don't think I need to explain much because many of you are already long time Buddhist. But I think maybe few who are new, so for their purpose. It is the 10 non-virtuous deed is actions that come out of desire, out of ignorance, out of anger. Any action comes out of these three, considered as a non-virtuous deed. Killing for the meat is a non-virtuous deed because you desire for the meat. So that is out of desire. Killing person in fighting, that is non-virtuous deed out of anger. And then there are some religious traditions, especially in the Hindus, that sacrificing animals or sacrificing human beings, thinking that this is the path, through this you will achieve the salvation, liberation. So these are non-virtuous actions because this is out of ignorance, because you don't know the right path. It is the wrong path. So there's out of ignorance. So any action that you do out of these three things are the non-virtuous deed. So there are basically, if you go detail, maybe there are many, many actions. But basically there are three actions. Through the body, three. Like stealing, telling lie, sexual misconduct. Through the voice, four. I'm sorry, I did miss through the body, three. Killing, stealing, telling lie. And through the voice, there are four. Telling lie and telling something that separates two groups or two persons. If two persons are very good friends, you tell something that splits them. That is the telling another telling through the voice. In Tibetan called Tama, but I don't find in English they
divisive speech.
Yeah, divisive speech, something like that, but not really. Okay. And then there is called gossiping. Gossiping is if you are talking something about your problem, if you are talking something about the doing a program, these are not considered as gossiping. Gossiping is here something that you talk bad things about others. Something you talk about the non-virtuous, romantic things, non-virtuous things. Something you talk about wars. Something you talk about maybe planning how to destroy something, how to destroy somebody, how to harm somebody. This sort of talk or discussion is considered as the gossiping. Okay? Then through the what is that? Mind. Through the mind, there are three. There is one is known as a napsen. Covetous. Napsen. Napsen means when you see something good, especially that belongs to other people, if you think that how nice if I get that, then that is not. Whenever you visit somebody's house, or whenever you see someone has good necklace, someone has good dress, yes, please, someone has good necklace, someone has good things, instead of thinking that I must have that, you must appreciate. Oh, very nice. Such and such person has that things. You feel happy. Otherwise, if you feel nice, if I have that one, then that is another non-virtuous. Through the mind. And then, second one is harmful thought. If you think of harming somebody, if you think of giving difficult problems to other person, that is the second. And then the third one is called heretical thought in English. But what it means is, if you don't believe in the law of karma, if you have a doubt, that's different. But if you completely don't believe and refuse, deny it as our law of karma, the system is not true. There is no such thing. After being Buddhist, okay, then that is the heretical thought. Or you don't believe in the Buddha, in the Dharma, in the Sangha, that is also heretical thought. So these non-virtuous, 10 non-virtuous actions that we are experiencing the result of those our previous 10 non-virtuous actions. So these, usually these through the virtuous deeds, you will get rebirth in the human life. You will have the better life. You will have comfortable life. You have, we have in life is different. And all these differences is because of our karma. But if we do the 10 non-virtuous deeds, then our result will be hell being, animal being, hungry ghost. I know that many of you don't like the hell, hearing the saying hell, but it is different. What Christian says is hell is different. Buddha do not send us to the hell. Buddha, in fact, wishing us not to go to hell, not to be born in hell, not to be born as an animal, not to be born as a hungry ghost, but because of our karma, we were born there. Sentient beings are born there. So now, where is this hell now? Hell in the Abhidhamma Kosha text says, after the underneath this length, 500 times is called the Yangta. That 8 times is called the Bhakti. So that 20 times of that Bhakti underneath the Buddhagaya is the hot hell realm. Hell realm, they are hot hell realm, cold hell realm. So then many sentient beings are being born there, suffering there. And then after finishing their karma, they can come back. Maybe depending on again what is the next karma they have done in the past. Then the one karma they have done to be born as a hell realm, but there is another next karma, many karmas they have done. So depending on that, maybe human beings, or maybe a little bit better than the hell realm, maybe animals, or like that. There is also God kind, according to the Buddhism. There is no God one, but there's God many, and God realm like a country. That is. So depending on our karma, we will be born in the God realm, we will be born on the human realms. So anyway, the result of the non-virtuous deed is that these karmas, that the greater karma will cause you the hell realm. The medium karma will cause you animal, and medium karma will cause you hungry ghost, and the lesser karma will cause you the animal. But how to differentiate this greater, lesser, medium is dependent on the force of your karma, that non-virtuous action. Like out of strong motivation, do the killing again and many times, then the killing will cost you. Killing also have 3. Killing out of desire, killing out of anger, killing out of ignorance. So killing out of anger will cost hell. Killing out of desire will cost hungry ghost. Killing out of ignorance will cost you animal. So like that, each karma can be defined in that way. Each non-virtuous deeds. So now, there is another result of the karma. It's called cause-like experience. The result of the bad karma, cause-like experience. And cause-like interest. So the cause-like experience means having finished your duty in this animal realm. If you were born in the human realm, you will have, like, because of the killing, there may be short lifetime, and like that, because of killing out of desire, short lifetime, killing out of anger, then plays anger, killing out of ignorance. They each of them have a different, life condition. And another one is karma, non-virtuous deed, cause like interest. Means also because of killing in the past, you were used to killing. You liked killing. You have an interest in killing. So because of that, even this lifetime, you have that kind of interest. Automatically you have, enjoy killing. You like killing, or you like stealing. Also maybe some person, they automatically they like stealing. They like telling lies. These are all cause like cause like interest, or you can say cause like action also. That you have done these karmas, bad karmas in the past, and then now in this lifetime also you have effect, that effect, and you like to do that. So therefore, what we should do is we must think that if we wanted to care ourselves, then we must not do the non-virtuous actions. What we need to do is the virtuous deeds. You must have strong understanding of that. Virtuous deed, non-virtuous deed. Buddha has nothing to do. It is not Buddha that makes us suffer. It's ourselves who suffer or who enjoy. So we have to, if we want to take care of ourselves for this life, for life hereafter, we must then know that one must not do these non-virtuous deeds and do the 10 virtuous deeds. So virtuous deed is not really action. It is just mentally that if you think that I will not do killings, that is one of the virtuous deeds. I will not do the stealings. That sort of your thinking or commitment is the virtuous deeds. So all 10 virtuous deeds, the opposite is the 10 non-virtuous deeds, the opposite is the virtuous deeds. So therefore, what we should do is, you must feel regret for the past non-virtuous actions, and must think that I will try not to commit non-virtuous deed and try to commit virtuous deed. And this will purify all the non-virtuous deeds that you have committed in the past. And confession is very important, purification is very important. That virtuous deed, non-virtuous deed, the very good thing is they can be purified. So we can purify. And then maybe how I wanted to say is that held is one way of saying is this, that underneath the, but actually it is like a you see, in the scientists or many people loved at saying that underneath the Bodh Gaya there is a hell realm. They say it's not possible, because if you drill underneath this, you will reach the America or other side. But last year, when I was in the UK, I saw on the television that scientists, they research, and there is a big fire inside this globe, this earth. So, and Bodh Gaya, there is a hot hell. There is a hot hell. And cold hell is, oh, there are many glaciers, icy bugs, ice. There are many sentient beings. Many sentient beings. You can see that these bears, white bears, they dig the ice and then find the fish and so many things. These are the sentient beings, have beings. So this is where I will stop my talking, and so now we will, if you have questions. Phil, don't shy. We are beginner. We have a lot of mistakes. That's right. Yes.
You talked about initiative empowerment. I was wondering what that really means.
Empowerment.
It's
Oh,
ceremony.
empowerment, yes, it is ceremony. There is a big empowerment and the short empowerments. Empowerment is actually authorizing you to practice that particular practice. The reason is that practice belongs to only that lineage holders. It is nobody's property, nobody's belonging. It is only that lineage holders. That lineage comes from Lord Buddha to the present Guru. So if you don't have the permission or the authorization from that, because it is not just you are asking him to give, and it is for the okay, that's the one thing. Another authorization. Another thing is the blessings. You must have the blessings of starting from the Buddha. If that is not there, your practice is nothing. No blessing, no effect, nothing. So the Guru, present Guru, is holding that blessed lineage that comes from Lord Buddha till now, and then transfers to you, authorized to you. And then not only that, then the teacher will introduce there is a Anuyoga Tantra empowerment that introduces you that your mind, how it is, it becomes the seed of Buddha. We say all the sentient beings have Buddha nature. So that Buddha nature, the seed of the Dharmakaya will be planted on that. And it will introduce your 5 aggregates as a 5 jhana Buddhas. So that introduction teachings everything you have to get from the teacher, not from the book, from the shop. After then teacher, you will study. Yeah. No more? Should I ask you a question? So now what do you feel? What Buddhism is? When it talks about the law of karmas and talks about enlightenment, it talks about the liberation. Are you positive or pessimistic or optimistic?
It's a challenge, but it is empowering in that it's up to you. It's not external, so you do either do well or do well, or you don't do anything, but it's up to you. It's not something you can impose, so you can aspire by listening to the talks, but we have to go away and think about it and actually try and practice it. And that's the challenge. It's not there's no magic. You can't buy it in a book.
It is a matter of whether we can put effort or not, whether we can find the proper opportunity. But there is no doubt, because Buddha Shakyamuni, who in the human form got enlightenment, is a good example. We are not talking something that has not existed on this earth. We are talking about somebody who existed on this earth and who strived the path and achieved and showed. So he said that first, after enlightenment, he said, I found a nectar like Dharma, but if I were to tell this, nobody will believe in it. So I better keep quiet and meditate in the forest. So he went in the forest. It's remained there for 1 week or 2 weeks. Then after that, he was requested by his first 5 disciples. I think they were in the beginning with him when Buddha was meditating, before he enlightenment, before he was first practicing that, what do you call it, penance. Penance.
Yeah.
So that time he has a few in his friends who did not achieve anything. So they gave up hope and went away from Buddha. So Buddha actually, okay, now again I have to say is Buddha Shakyamuni, that according to Theravada, he is a newly enlightened being on this earth. But Mahayana said, no, he is a manifestation of the original Buddha. So there are 3 Buddhas. I think better not say this, all confusing you. But anyway, so okay, then should we close the session? Thank you very much. And I wish you all the best. And I appreciate, whether you become a Buddhist or not, I appreciate your interest in hearing the Dharma. I think today in this world, which is known as the 21st century, they say 21st century, but 20th century is also not better than now. It is more and more conflict, more and more difficulties, and love and compassion is treated as a, what do you call it, patient, not actually practicing. And the people in this world suffers in one way or another. The need of the Dharma is very necessary. Even if you don't become Buddhist, if you believe in one faith, I'm very happy. Because religion teaches us how to be a good people act differently, negatively, that is not the fault of that religion. That is the fault of the person, individual. So when you see bad Buddhist or bad any other religious followers, you must not blame, because it is not the fault of the religion, it is the fault of the person. Particularly in Buddhism, one must not condemn, criticize any other religion, because that is also non-virtuous action. That is either out of anger, out of desire, out of ignorance, or maybe out of jealousy. So it's a negative action. I wish that all the religion on this earth flourish. But if that is possible, religion is misused, that is very possible. Everywhere, any religion, that we have to be careful. Otherwise, the religion is very beautiful. All the religions are beautiful. We wish that all the religions flourish everywhere and come into harmony. So, anyway, I wish you all the best, successful life and good health, and hope we can meet again and again. It's from my heart, okay?
Thank you.